Have you ever felt like you know a ton of English words, but you just keep using the same basic ones over and over again? Yeah, me too. Well, today, we're going to fix that. We are going to level up your language, moving way beyond the basics to unpack some really powerful words that'll make you sound more fluent, more expressive, and honestly, a lot more confident.
You know, when you see a long vocabulary list like this, it can be a little intimidating, right? It just looks like a wall of text. But here's the thing. Hidden inside are some absolute gems, words that can totally transform how you communicate. So, we're not going to learn this whole thing, no way. Instead, we're going to break down some of the most useful and tricky words so you can start using them like today.
So, are you ready for a serious vocabulary upgrade? Awesome. Let's dive in.
Okay, here's our game plan. First up, we're going to tackle some powerful adjectives to finally move beyond the word very. Then, we'll get into some tricky verbs that add a ton of nuance. After that, we're going to face the phrasal verb challenge head-on. And finally, we'll wrap it all up and create your new vocabulary toolkit. Sound good? Let's go.
Our first stop is all about ditching one tiny little word that we all lean on way too much: very. Seriously, one of the fastest ways to make your English sound more advanced is to swap out very plus an adjective for a single, stronger, more extreme adjective.
And this shows it perfectly. Look at the difference. Instead of saying very angry, you can say furious. Instead of very dirty, try filthy. Can you feel the difference? The upgraded words are just punchier. They're stronger, they have more impact, and they paint a much clearer picture in your listener's mind.
So here's our first big upgrade. The next time you want to say something is very big, swap it out for enormous. It just means extremely large. You know, it's perfect for describing a giant skyscraper, an elephant, or that huge pizza you're planning to eat this weekend. It's enormous.
You know that feeling after a super long day at work or maybe a really tough workout? You're not just very tired, are you? No, you are exhausted. It's such a great word because it perfectly captures that feeling of having absolutely zero energy left. And let's get rid of very good. It's okay, but it's a little boring, right? That was a very good idea. The movie was very good. Instead, try using brilliant. It's so much more dynamic, and it just sounds more exciting. A brilliant idea, a brilliant film. It just adds that extra spark.
Okay, let's move on to verbs. Choosing the right verb is all about being precise. Some verbs can seem really similar, but the tiny differences in their meaning are actually super important. Mastering these is what adds that real sophistication, that nuance to your speech. We're going to zoom in on 3 fantastic examples: persuade, insist, and forgive. Each one of these describes a very specific kind of action, especially when it comes to communicating with others.
First up, persuade. Now, this is more than just asking someone to do something. It's about succeeding. When you persuade someone, it means you've used reasons, you've used arguments, and you've actually convinced them to agree with you. Like, I finally persuaded my friend to try that new restaurant. You won them over. Now, insist is much, much stronger. It's a demand. When you insist on something, you're not really opening a debate. You are stating something firmly, like it's a requirement. For example, she insisted on paying for the coffee. There was no arguing with her. So, persuade is about convincing, but insist is about demanding.
And then there's forgive. This is such a powerful emotional verb. It's the act of deciding to let go of your anger or blame towards someone for something they did. It's a conscious choice to move on from a mistake. A really important concept and a really useful word to have.
All right, let's tackle what might be one of the trickiest parts of English: phrasal verbs. Don't worry, though. They are so incredibly common in everyday, natural conversation that learning them is absolutely essential if you want to sound more like a native speaker.
So what even is a phrasal verb? At its heart, the formula is super simple. You take a normal verb, like give, and you add a small word, like a preposition, such as up, and poof, you get a brand new meaning. Give up has nothing to do with giving something. It means to quit. It's like word magic.
Let's look at a few common ones. To bring someone up means to raise a child. To grow apart is that sad thing that happens when friends or couples slowly become more distant over time. And as we said, to give up means to quit or stop trying. The real key is to learn them as a single chunk, a whole new vocabulary item.
Whew! We have covered a lot of ground. We've looked at powerful adjectives, nuanced verbs, and those tricky phrasal verbs. So let's bring it all together and build your new vocabulary toolkit that you can start using right now.
And here it is again, your quick reference guide. These are those awesome very replacements we started with. The next time you find yourself about to say very tired, just pause for a second and try exhausted. Instead of very angry, go for furious. Seriously, these simple swaps will make a massive difference in how you sound.
So there you have it. You now have a whole new set of tools to make your English more precise, more powerful, and way more expressive. The only question left is, which one of these new words are you going to use first? Go out there and give it a try.